Good morning, class 12th. Another topic in the chapter the features, problem, and policies of agriculture. We are going for the chapter number 3. We have already discussed the importance of agriculture in Indian economy. Then, what the problems Indian economy agriculture is facing. And today, let us go for another topic agrarian reforms or reforms in Indian agriculture. Okay, what measures were taken by the Indian government to sort out the problem which is faced by the Indian agriculture system? So, three measures were taken by the Indian government. Number one, technical reforms. Number two, institutional reforms. And number three, general reforms. So what are these reforms? Let us try to understand one by one. So first of all, let us discuss over here technical reforms or new agricultural strategy. In that, first point where we are going to focus upon is use of HVY seeds, high yielding seeds. Since 1965, high yielding variety seeds have replaced the conventional varieties. What does it mean? It means before 1965, people were using their own seeds which were giving less production, but after that a green revolution came, and this revolution came because of HVY seeds. These HVY seeds are artificial seeds which are prepared by the scientists, agriculture scientists. These seeds were related with wheat, bajra, rice, maize, jawar and cotton, and due to introduction of these seeds, bumper jump took place in the production of crops, whether they were commercial crops and whether they were food crops. National Seeds Corporation has been set up to promote the growth and distribution of HVY seeds. ये एक बोर्ड को सेटअप किया गया जिसका मेन उद्देश्य था कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा HVY सीड्स को यूज़ किया जाए. Number two, use of chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers are being increasingly used to enhance the productivity. Earlier, before 1965, farmers were not using chemical fertilizers, so production was less. But the introduction of HVY seeds demanded the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, which again increased our production considerably. Third is use of insecticide and pesticide for crop protection. When we were using these HVY seeds, some diseases were coming side by side. So in order to control over those diseases, this system introduced medicines in form of insecticides and pesticides. Steps have been initiated to protect crop against disease and insects by using insecticides and pesticides. For that, 14 central plant protection centers have been set up in this respect. For plant production, integrated pest management program was adopted along with the adoption of HVY seeds. So, in order to how to use insecticides medicine and pesticide medicine, separate board was set up who can guide the farmers when and where to use which kind of medicine for agriculture. Next is scientific farm management practices. Before 1965, farmers were using their conventional technology. They were doing conventional farming. But after 1965, scientific method of farming like selection of crops and their quality means which crops is suitable for which kind of soil, preparation of soil, after selection of crops, soil will be prepared for that particular crop, rotation of crops. Scientists suggested that do not cultivate crops or do not grow crops same again and again in each and every year. There should be rotation of crops so that fertility of land can be maintained, selection of seeds, use of fertilizers, etc. So through this scientific farm management practices, farmers came to know what kind of crops should be selected for the land, how to prepare the soil, how to rotate the crops, which kind of seeds are to be used. All these were scientific management practices. And another important steps under technical reforms was taken by the government is mechanized means of cultivation. As we discussed, we were using conventional technology. Farmers were doing maximum work with their manual system, but under this technical reforms, farmers were provided financial help to purchase machines for agriculture activities like harvesting machines, like seeding machines, tractor, irrigation equipments, etc. So this mechanized means of cultivation become easy by setting up the cooperative societies, like regional rural banks and commercial banks. So these were some technical reforms taken by the government. Now some institutional reforms or land reforms. The first land reform was taken by the government to sort out the problem of agriculture was abolition of intermediaries. Government fully focused on to remove or to abolish the intermediaries like jamidars, because these jamidars were the owner of the fields, agriculture farm, and the people who were using farming, they were tenant or tillers, and they were getting less amount of rent. The government completely abolished this zamindari system and land was given to ultimate tiller. Next is regulation of land. Though in few cases where the farmers were not having land, they were working for others, they were using others this agriculture land to grow the crops. In that case, rent was fixed by the government. How much rent would be taken from that tenant? Jamindars were not able to exploit the tenants or the farmers. Consolidation of holding, as we discussed earlier also, one of the main drawback was of Indian farming was farmers were having fragmented land. Their land were spreaded here or there. One piece of acre land at one place, then another piece of acre land was at another place. Due to that scattered land, farmers were not able to take good crops, but government tried a lot for this consolidation of land holding, that is to bring the land together by giving them at one place. It also resulted a lot in bring jump in the cultivation. Another important point taken by the government was sealing of land holdings. As we know, jamidars were the owner of the lands. They were having plenty of lands, and there were laborers or farmers who were not having a single piece of land. So through sealing of land holdings, government decided the maximum size of cultivate land an individual can have or a family can have, and excess land was taken from that family and given it to the landless laborers. So the surplus land has been resumed by the government and redistributed among smallholders or landless labor. It again helped a lot in bring the more development in agriculture sector. And then cooperative farming. As we know, people were having very less number of acres of land, and if we have very less land, then farmers cannot use advanced technology, tubal system, tractor system. Then government introduced the system of cooperative farming, where few farmers together will do farming. How it is, suppose I have 5-acre farm, X person has 3-acre farm, Y person have 6-acre farm. In this way, we can ask them to come together, 10 to 20 farmers, and in this way they may be having more than 50 acre of land, and that on 150 acre of land they can use each and every advanced system, and whatever cultivation they will get, that will be distributed according to their land holding. So this cooperative farming also helped a lot to remove those drawbacks which were faced by the Indian farmers. Thank you.